Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parshas Mishpatim and also the special Torah portion of Parshas Shkolim. So the question of the week is, why do we give charity? So in this week's Torah portion, the special Torah that we take out in honor of Parshas Shkolim, we read about the special gift that the Jewish people gave in the times of the temple, and they would give shkolim, special coins, to the temple. The shkolim were used, these special coins were used for two purposes. One, it was a gift that everyone participated in the sockets, the foundation of the tabernacle, and also it was used for sacrifices that were brought throughout the year in the temple. When would they collect the shkolim? They collected the shkolim on Rosh Chodesh Adar. And because they collected the shkolim on Rosh Chodesh Adar, so we read the Torah portion this week, which happens to be also Rosh Chodesh Adar. Now the Rebbe explains that the shkolim were used for two things. One is for the sockets. The sockets is what held up the whole temple, and it was also given for the sacrifices. So the Rebbe says what's interesting is, when does somebody bring a sacrifice? Someone brings a sacrifice, Nabach, they did something wrong, they're looking for atonement, so the shkolim fills that void. So the Rebbe said the same idea as when charity. One of the reasons you give charity is when someone is lacking, so you give them to help them. They have a need, they have a lack, they have a void, you're filling that need. But the other component of shkolim was used for the sockets of the temple. By giving the shkolim, you created the foundation of the temple, which allowed the Shekhinah, the divine presence, to rest in the world. And the Rebbe says that's another reason why we give charity. The other reason why we give charity is so that Hashem could dwell in the world. Because when we do charity, when we do good deeds, Hashem dwells in the world. Hashem dwells in our life. Hashem becomes part of our life in a real way. And the Rebbe says we find a similar argument between the two classic commentators, the Rambam and the Ramban. The Rambam says that the main purpose of the building of the temple was for sacrifices, which again resembles people have a need, people have a void. So Hashem made an opportunity for people to fill that void by bringing sacrifices. The Ramban says that's not the main reason for the temple. The main reason for the temple is so the Shekhinah should dwell into the world. So you see there's a clear difference between the two approaches of the purpose of the temple, whether it's to fill someone's void, just like the component of charity to help somebody, or it's that Hashem should dwell in this world, like the component of charity to Hashem should be more found in the world. So the answer to the question, what's the reason why we give charity? There's two reasons. One is someone has a need, so there's a void, and you're trying to help the person. But secondly, and possibly more importantly, at least according to the opinion of the Ramban, is so that Hashem should be felt in the world, Hashem be more revealed in the world, and every time we do charity, we think we're really helping someone, which is true. But more importantly, we're allowing Hashem to be revealed in the world, in our lives, in our families' lives, in our communities, and when Hashem is revealed, we all have the greatest blessings of the revelation of Hashem. This week's Torah lesson is dedicated to the memory of Baruch ben Ari Leib, Shlomo ben Yosef, and Rachel Bas Lipa. May their souls be elevated by the Torah we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information, please see our website, chabadswf.org. Have a great and blessed week. Shavua Tov.